HP regularly releases product updates as well as new web services apps and new features to existing web services apps. You need to update your printer's firmware to be able to use these apps and other features. This video shows you how to update your HP printer so that you can get the most up-to-date functionality. Your printer must be installed on the computer you are going to use to update the printer's firmware. Because installing the printer is unique for each system configuration, we will not provide those instructions here. First, you must check the firmware currently installed on the printer to determine if it needs to be updated or not. To do this, we must print out the self-test pages. From the printer's control panel, press and hold the Resume button, which looks like a piece of paper with an arrow on it. When the green ready light begins to blink, release the Resume button. The self-test pages print. Now we need to go to HP's website to see if there is updated firmware for your printer. From your computer, open your preferred web browser. For this video, we are using Internet Explorer. In the browser's address bar, type www.hp.com and press Enter on your keyboard. Click Support and Drivers. Click the Drivers and Software tab. In the Enter a Product Name number box, type Laserjet CP1025nw and press Enter. On the Operating System selection page, select your operating system and then click Next. Click the plus sign next to Firmware to view the latest firmware version available for your printer. Using the first page of the self-test pages you printed out earlier, find the firmware version. Compare this firmware version to the version listed on HP's website software page. If the firmware version on the self-test page is the same as the firmware version on HP's website software page, your printer is up to date and you do not need to continue. If the firmware version is different on the self-test page than the version on the HP website software page, continue to the next step. Now that you've determined that your printer's firmware version is different from what is listed as the latest version on HP's website support page, you need to download the updated firmware and install it on your printer. From the HP website software page, click HP Laserjet Firmware Update Utility. When the Update Utility page loads, click Download. A window might appear asking you what to do with the file. Click Save. Browse to the location where you want to save the file and then click Save. Make sure you save the file somewhere easy to remember so you can install it later. To find the file you just downloaded, click the Open Folder button if you used Internet Explorer. If you used a different web browser, you will need to browse to the folder where you saved the firmware download file. Double-click the file to launch the HP Firmware Update utility. Windows 7 might ask you to confirm if you want to open the file. Click Yes to open the utility. If multiple printers are available to update, select the HP Laserjet Professional CP1020 series from the list, then click the Update 1 button. Otherwise, click Update All. Click Yes to confirm you want to update the firmware. When the update has completed, you will receive a message confirming the update. Click OK. You can now resume printing with the upgraded firmware.